Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Money Mondays on this lovely January 27th. Yeah, jazz hands. I'm Belinda Ray. I am the Director of Strategic Partnerships here at GPCOG.
And I'm Paul Johnson. I'm the Director of Economic and Community Development here.
And we're here to offer our member communities and regional partners funding opportunities and regional resources. So if you have any questions as we go through this, please feel free to type them into the Q&A or the chat, and we will check them out. And you can always email us if you have questions at the end. So here we go. I actually am on top of the share button today. Woo! Go ahead, Paul.
Thank you, Belinda. So today, and some of you in the audience may be aware, I believe the City of Portland, you are a lender for this program. But the third round of SSBCI, otherwise known or easily known as Grow Maine funding, is going to be available. And so what is Grow Maine funding? I'll get into that in the next slides, but a few of us have been waiting patiently for the third and final round of funding to become available. I don't know the exact start date yet. I attend my mandatory training tomorrow, so I may report back next week to everybody. But essentially Grow Maine is, it was $62 million through the State Small Business Credit Initiative, $62 million for funding for eligible Maine businesses. And it's available through FAME, of course. Most of the stuff's always available through FAME, and it's also available through the intermediary partners, which GPCOG happens to be one. Like I said before, the City of Portland is also a lender for this program, and CEI is a lender in the area as well. And then I think most of the other COGs and economic development districts are lenders for this program. So the good news is this is just a good fresh batch of money available for businesses. The program has a little bit of quirks, but it's not too hard to follow. Next slide, Belinda. First of all, the loans can be up to $20 million, but I believe that will be adjusted down because you probably noticed there was a total of $62 million, and this is the third round. So my hunch is they're not going to allow one loan to be the entire third round. So that $20 million will be updated. But you can notice they're larger loans that you might not get from a local revolving loan fund or even a revolving loan fund from GPCOG. And the purposes are pretty wide open. You can see all of these. I won't read them all, but they're all very typical business expenses. So not very unrestrictive on how you can use this. Of course, there's all the typical restrictions on certain types of businesses, gambling, marijuana, all that fun stuff you can't do. But as far as business uses, pretty much wide open for everybody. And the big part about this program, which is really where it really narrows down to if the deal makes sense for this program, is the next slide. There's two big things. The funding of this program has to be cause and result. What that means is this funding, you can probably see my dog here. This funding has to, he's coming. I don't know if you can see him. This funding has to be brought to the closing table. So you cannot fund this as like a separate side loan. It has to be something that like brings an entire deal together. So this is not a program where they can just go straight to GPCOG and ask for $100,000. This has to be part of a capital stack. And you can notice what I put in red there is there has to be a 3-to-1 ratio. So in other words, this funding has to be 25% of a project. So easy example, if it's a $4 million project and there's like a $1 million capital stack gap, this would be a great program to access for the last $1 million. So in this sense, it's a little restrictive because it's not just a loan program that you can walk into the front door and we give you money. It's a loan program that you probably were working with a bank beforehand. You notice there's a gap. You're trying to close the gap. This is where this program comes in. It has to really trigger the closing of the investment. So I apologize there. I stumbled a little bit because I have a puppy trying to eat my shirt. But besides that, I hope that makes sense. Email me with any questions. don't email me yet. Email me after tomorrow because I'm going through my training tomorrow. I did this in the last 2 rounds, but it's been a while, and I'm sure there's little nuances for the third round. So with that, Belinda, I am going to gratefully hand it off to you.
Thank you. And I could not see your puppy. I would love to see your puppy, and preferably your puppy maybe with the belt. Oh, there's the puppy. Oh, what a sweetheart. What is the puppy's name, Paul?
His name is Walter Hobbs from the movie Elf. Walter Hobbs was Buddy's dad, so he is
Oh my goodness. All
he is
right.
on the naughty list. Yeah.
That is great.
Yeah.
Oh, he's welcome at Money Mondays anytime. Okay, so today I have the AARP Community Challenge, American Association of Retired Persons. This is something they do annually, part of their Livable Communities initiative. And they offer grants that will help communities improve, any immediate improvements that are going to help support residents of all ages. And they want these improvements to be quick, tangible things that you can do that might start another initiative. They do not want, excuse me, any planning projects or studies that don't include follow-up action. So if you do want to study something, it has to be in pursuit of something else, and you'll need to let them know what you're going to follow up with. There are 3 buckets here: flagship grants, capacity building, micro grants, demonstration grants, and yes, you can apply for more than one of them, and you can submit multiple applications for more than one of them. So you can look into all 3, and we are going to take them one at a time here. The flagship grants are up to $25,000, and they have 5 categories. And on the application, you check a box. Which one of these are you doing? Are you working to do some placemaking, improve a public place? Is it transportation or housing? Is it digital connections, broadband related, or is it something that is supporting community resilience? Some examples of some past winners of flagship grants. In Boston, they did an age-friendly bench program where they used these funds to install benches around the city and to create a map of where the benches are so that people can plan walking routes or, make a fun little scavenger hunt, find all the benches. Good way to get people out and walking, and also to make it more accessible to people who might have some mobility challenges. They know where they can find a bench to take a break. In Avoca, Iowa, outside their library, they had a nice plaza, but it was kind of empty and maybe not drawing people to it. So they made it more interactive by installing these big instruments that are indeed weatherproof, as you can see from the photo there, to make the space more inviting, drive more people out. It's a placemaking exercise to drive walkability and health and interaction, all kinds of good things. Another example, in Michigan, they tested out bicycle lane delineators in a lot of different locations and got feedback from people to try to figure out, is this working? Is it not working? What are the problems? What are the great pieces here? To try to help figure out going forward, do they want to do something more permanent? Are these the right locations? Things like that. So that's flagship grants. Second one is capacity building. Again, 4 categories, and you have to choose one. Now, this is a small amount. It's only $2,500, but they also offer you resources. There are toolkits that come with it, depending which category you choose. You get coaching and learning opportunities. So it's $2,500 to put towards your project, but it's also some resources to help maybe, give your staff some professional development opportunities. Examples, in Sparks, Nevada, they created emergency preparedness go kits for older residents. And actually, South Portland received a capacity building grant in 2024. Obviously, their project year just ended, so there were no pictures up yet, but their project is to promote emergency preparedness and put up signs, displays at events to help people understand how to make their own evacuation plan and kit. So pictures of that, I'm sure, will be up on the AARP website in the coming months. And the third bucket is demonstration grants. Now this one again is $25,000. It says 5, there's 4 categories there. That's a typo that will be fixed when the slides go out. So one of these categories, you need to check a box again. And a couple of examples here. In Wayne, Maine, perhaps some of you have driven past this. They got one of those crossing signals with it's a flashing beacon, installed that, and they, I see another typo. Ignore the print under there. It will all be fixed. What they did is install this crossing. They have a crosswalk, and so they got the money to put that in. And then in Charleston, South Carolina, they did crosswalk murals, temporary. These are temporary installations because the funding doesn't necessarily allow them to repaint, but it gives people a chance to say, was this helpful? Do you like this? And they put these signs here. The second one was up there, interactive. People could grab a dot and put it where they wanted to. Clearly, most people enjoyed this, but it's a good way to get feedback and figure out, is this a good place to put this? Is it helping? Eligibility for these, a lot of the usual suspects, obviously municipalities. They do not grant these to for-profit companies or individuals. And the features, so the maximums are there. There is no match required. The period of performance is pretty quick. So I'm going to skip over to deadline. It's due March 5th. They will notify by May 25th. You have to have all your project memorandum of understanding and your vendor agreements signed by June 11th, and the project has to be completed by December 15th. So, it's like a 6-month project. And then there is an after action report due, but it's not a lot. And they want you to take pictures so that they can put them on the website and let other people know what's been done. Difficulty here, I would say, is a 2. It's an online portal. Limited word counts. They're not looking for a ton of description here. They just want to know what are you doing? How are you spending this money? So it's a pretty easy one to get into. And here are some places you can go to get more information. The application template is available so that you can figure that out. Yeah, there's a lot of info, and there's a webinar coming up on the 29th, which would be Wednesday. You can register for that and learn even more. So that is the opportunity I have for you today. And I don't really have anything else to say, Paul. Do you?
Me either. I'm just trying to pretend like it's not pure chaos right now in my house with this puppy. So.
But you know what? Just keep that Money Monday
Right.
virtual background up, and it looks very chill, very calm over there in the Johnson household.
You can probably tell I turned my camera off as I chased after him all over the place. So.
Oh, all right, everybody. Well, if you have new puppies in your lives, I hope they are bringing you as much joy as Paul's is. Have a great week. We will see you next week. Bye.
Bye.